Are you tired of Valve's janky old crosshairs? Do you want more options? If so, then this video is for you. Hey guys, welcome back to another great ass video. And today, I'm going to show you guys how to add some custom crosshairs to TF2. Because as you know, TF2 does not have any modern way of choosing your crosshair like you would see in Counter-Strike, or you would see in Overwatch, or you'd see really any modern game out there that's an FPS title. Valve always gives you the default like crosshair shapes. The only way to customize said shapes are through like the color sliders or the size sliders. And that's pretty much about it, and it gives you an option to choose which shape it is and whatnot, but that's about it. And so you might be asking, okay, so how can you actually get the custom crosshairs and everything to a way where I like them and whatnot? So I'm going to show you a quick website here. We'll open up our browser right here. You go to the sidebar and we're going to type in cfg.tf/tools/crosshairs, and this page will pull up. So what is so good about this page, or what can I do with it? So if you look to select weapon to modify or pick a crosshair or whatever, you have different things. So how this essentially works is that it'll actually replace, when you go to the none option in your crosshair settings, it will change your weapon crosshairs to whatever you have here. You can do this for, you have a different crosshair for each weapon type of thing. You could have a you can also have it to where all the weapons will have the same exact crosshair, and so it's really good for just messing around with. So this is the first thing I would definitely look at here. So you would do is you find a crosshair that you like. Say if I like say I like the small one right here, right? And some of these options, you'll notice that some of these have outlines on them and whatnot, and so you can actually be able to see the shape and an outline. So maybe if your eyes are like mine, where kind of get distracted, or sometimes you don't see it as well as you'd like to, it's good for that. So if you want to have all of it, you just select add current crosshair to all weapons. You know, just go here, then you go here, it'll add all of these weapons to the same crosshair. But of course, you can actually change all these too. So if you wanted to do, say, what if I wanted to do, say, a flying guillotine, right, with something else, right? Say I wanted to have a flying guillotine. If I switch here, go flying guillotine, for instance. I made it for a different crosshair. I want to go for this one for whatever reason, right? And then you go from there, hit add, right? And that's all you have to do. So all you have to do to download this is that you just have to hit download package like this, right? Let's go this tutorial. Get that into your whatever directory you want. You open this up, and you'll notice you get this little folder here. So how do you actually install these? So what you want to do to actually install these is that you want to go to this crosshairs folder, the one that's right above these two, the materials and scripts folder. Go to the one right above there, copy. You need to go to your TF2 game files. Now the quickest way to actually do this is you go to your Steam library right here, on your TM Fortress 2, hit properties, then go to installed files, then go to browse. You'll notice that there is bin, Half-Life 2, a platform, and TF. And you hit the TF, you go to custom. You just copy and paste. Now I already have my crosshairs the ones that I want on here, and this one's that I made. I'll show you guys to make your own if you don't like any of the options on the website. I can show you how to actually edit this package to your liking, so you can actually create your own crosshair. So you paste it in here. Next, what you want to do is you want to launch your game, like so. And then once it loads in, like so, what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that there's two ways to actually change it. So the first one is the simplest way to do it, which is to go here, go to options, the multiplayer, and you want to cross appearance, make sure it's set to none, and then hit apply. Now, if you were like me and you have maybe you have a custom config or something, or whatever that you have, you open up your console. So in order to make sure you don't to do that, you go to options, go to advanced to make sure both of these are. You want the first one anyways for gameplay, but the console you want to have this one enabled. Okay, then you want to hit the tilde key. Just looks like a little squiggly line on the top, and it's right underneath your escape key. We'll open up this window. And then what we want to type is you want to type in CL underscore like that. Crosshair file, and make sure you put the double apostrophes and hit enter. It'll set your Crosshair file to none, which will give you your in-game crosshairs. So if I were to go in game, that's all you have to do pretty much. But if you're like me and you didn't find the crosshairs that one that I wanted wasn't on the website, so what I did instead was the next step. We'll get right into it right about now. Alright, so here we are in game and everything. Here's the one that I made personally for myself and everything. So again, I can, nothing matters if I go to switch class to spy, whatever. It expands like you would on Ambassador, stuff like that, right? Point is that it behaves like a normal crosshair and whatnot. So it's not just an overlay, it's a natural crosshair. So I'm going to actually start making this. Now, one thing I will say is that there is some prep work before we get into this exactly. So let's go ahead and tell you what we need to do. So first off is make a folder with for your stuff and everything. I'll explain what this does in a second, but at least in a little bit. Next thing to do is go back to your browser, and you want to do two things. So you want to be able to practice cfg.tf and everything, and you want to make it where the crosshairs are on hair shadow dots and add current crosshair to all weapons, and whatnot. For whatever reason, some of these crosshairs, like the ones up like here or whatever, don't seem to like give when you assign to the weapons you want to. It doesn't always give the script file. Feature rapture here, by the way. So my brain kind of fried here, as you kind of tell. But what I was trying to explain is that each text file in the scripts will assign each crosshair to each weapon and whatnot. That's all I needed to explain. Thank you. I also need to assign that crosshair to each weapon and whatnot, so it can be a little weird at times. So I just put everything on all and X crosshair shadow dots and whatnot. If there's any you don't want to do, you can get rid of it and delete the files however you want to delete them, right? Or whatever. Or if you want to set them up, or if you can have two different crosshairs that you've made, you can do it that way too. Doesn't matter. The point is that you want to have all of the weapons selected at some point or another, and go ahead and download package so you can have all the script files and everything. So go ahead and hit save. We're going to go ahead and go back to our tutorial folder here. I'm going to go ahead and copy the crosshair sub thing, the one right above these two. Go ahead and copy. Paste. That does most of the organization for us as it is. The next thing to do is you actually want to make a crosshair like the shape you want to make. So first thing you want to do is you want to say Pixlr, for instance. You can do Pixlr, you can do Photoshop. Pixlr is a free and it's a web-based program for those who don't want to do it, download anything, or whatever. I get it. The thing with Pixlr is that it makes it where it's like unless you have premium or whatever, it limits how many files you can download per day and whatnot. So just be aware of that. But make sure it's not MS Paint. The reason why I don't want to do MS Paint is because there's no transparency support on Paint. Also, when you make a new file, make sure it is 64 by 64 with transparency and everything. So it would go like this. So of course you can do different shapes. So I've noticed like a big one is you can do this one. Maybe we could do this little big old X here. You could do. I've noticed on like CS:GO, for instance, or on different games, I noticed that the heart-shaped one is getting popularized for whatever reason. So we could do that, for example, and whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a shape here. So I'll make it like about yay big, like so. I want to center it like so, and then make sure that your fill, whatever your crosshair is on white. Because if it's on, like I said, any of the color that's not white, it'll have this weird color effect and whatnot. And because how essentially it will render, go ahead and actually add what do you call it? Make sure I rasterize this. We go filter, layer, rasterize, and then I'm gonna do filter, outline, make this black, I'm going to make this a little bit like so, like 5, right? Give or take, right? So the reason why you want to make it like so is because, say if I make this layer into and make this one red, right? I'm going to go ahead and make this red. So what the coloration does on side when you color your Crosshair game is that it'll essentially add a multiply blend mode. If I hit multiply, you'll notice that it essentially covers all of the white, turns all the white into red, but it leaves the black alone, which is and whatnot. So if I were to make another layer like so, and then make this, say this one blue, I'd get light and then make this again multiply like here, I'd get this weird color that's not even, it's kind of this dark purple hue in this case, but the point is that it would clash too much with the colors. So you always want to make the background of your Crosshair white, and if you're doing an outline, make it black. So I'm gonna go back here. So now I pretty much finished this file. Or the way I want, say I'm done with this file. This is the one that I want to do. Save file, save as, and then you want to find where you saved your folder. So I'm gonna where your folder where you set up your stuff at. So maybe here. I'm gonna type in, call this one art, right? I'm gonna save like so. So now the PNG is saved, but we're not done yet because we still got to convert the PNG file into a readable file by the game. So PNG is not readable by any source game. You have to have a VTF file if you want to have a any file that's really anything, any type of texture file, or really any type of transparency. It needs to have VTF and include sprays. So what do you do to get that transparency or convert to the right format? So you do go to the called NAMS Tools VTFEdit. Now this is actually a very safe program. It won't do anything to your PC. This is made for people who want to work on source games and make whether it be textures for maps or textures for a model or skins or whatever, or even for a spray, like I said earlier before. It's actually really useful for a lot of things. If you don't want to install it on your computer, you don't have to. You can go for the archive, so you can do it. You can just open it from a folder and that's it, or and whatnot. I did the installer myself, but that's not the point. The point is this is something that I'd use a lot. This is good for many different things. So go ahead and close all of these out real quick, and then we're back to our folder here. So the first thing you want to do is after you get VTFEdit, download it, installed, or whatever, right? Is you want to go ahead and go to open it up. Open. Like so. Open this up. You'll get this blank, like slate here. You want to hit the import button. You go ahead and find your Crosshair file you made with the PNG. Then you want to go to, mine is over here. Tutorial, and open the heart one, right? When you open this up, you're gonna leave this one completely how it is. Just don't touch anything. You'll notice that there's all these flags. There's only 2 you want to check besides it. You want to leave the 8-bit alpha, but you want to check no bitmap and no level of detail. You want to hit save. Save as. Go to Crosshairs. This is why we did the folder thing earlier. Go materials, VGUI, replay, and thumbnails. You get these all these different Crosshairs that the package came with and whatnot. In my case, I'm going to call this one heart for this tutorial and everything. But we're not done yet because we still have to be able to tell the game to recognize that texture file is even there and what its purpose is supposed to be. So I go to materials. Again, go where you saved it. Then you want to find really any of these VMTs because all of these share the exact same like lighting properties and whatnot. The only difference is that where the which file they're trying to tell the game to read. So you want to go ahead and hit copy, and you want to hit paste. So go ahead and open it up. You want to find whichever one it was. You want to find what says base texture, VGUI replay thumbnails, and you want to replace the end of whatever it is to the name of your Crosshair file. So in my case, it's a heart, right? So I named it heart. Then hit save. And then again, same thing. Come in here, rename the VMT the same thing, like so. Hit save. So now the game can actually read the texture file. But now to actually assign each and every single one of these to the right weapon, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and go back to your crosshairs, go to scripts. This is why I needed to, and this is what this whole entire note thing that I pulled up earlier was for. Go ahead and actually this up again. I'll go back to tutorial, and here's what we want to get this code. I'll put this in the description below so you can just copy and whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this, and I'm going to go ahead and paste it where we were at originally. I'm actually going to go back here. So it's in here, the paste, and then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and rename the file from a text. Then you want to name this instead of a txt file. You want this to be a .ps1. So I'll put replace .ps1 like so. Hit OK. And then you have, this is what you call a PowerShell file. Instead of, don't hit open yet, just hit edit. And then you want to go ahead and you want to replace a couple of these things with whatever it is. So in my case, first thing is make sure when you do replace each and everything, notice that these apostrophes are still here. Make sure whatever you put in these are within those apostrophes, otherwise it's going to be a little weird for you. So in my case, if I go back to scripts, so in my scripts folder, I copied it, the address here, and then you want to just right to the slash in between the apostrophe and to the slash, backspace that, paste that in. Yeah, now we have that first part in. Next is to replace the original word with a new one. So the new word is obviously going to be art, and the old one is going to be whatever it's in here. So we go down here, we find where it says crosshair. You want to find where it says this last part where it says X crosshair shadow dots right here. We're going to hit copy. And then we're going to go back to our PowerShell editor thing. You're going to hit paste. Now the reason why I'm doing this is for one reason. It is much easier to make a PowerShell like this and execute it rather than trying to go in each and every single one of these. And these are like, all of these are like 69 or so, if I number. But it's time consuming as hell. So what this enabled with the script does is that it will actually replace anything that has the X crosshair dots right here with the heart. So we don't have to do anything. Go here, right click, run with PowerShell. We'll finish. If you want to double check it, let's make sure that it says heart there. Check this here, it's heart there. And that's all what that script does. When you're done with that script, go ahead and delete it. And you're done. And then also, all you gotta do now is go back to your crosshair page, copy and paste this inside your into your custom folder. So I'll go ahead and actually replace my original files in it. So I'll replace this with this case. I'll paste it in, and we'll launch the game to make sure everything runs properly and whatnot. So go ahead and launch the game like so, and you can either join a community server or whatever might help you. You can also do the whole entire load up app that you have on your computer. So once it's loads, I'll show you how to do it. So you go find game, go to create server. Item test is pretty fun to start with. Really, any of the maps you have, just any of them. It doesn't have to be a specific map. It can just be any map. Then let your game load in like so. As long as you have your crosshair set to no file, you have your crosshair like so. Again, come in here, edit the way I want to, right? Whatever it might be. Right, it's right here, level. Change the color if I want to. So if I go here, I can do, maybe I don't want a green, I can go, we can do a mixture of red, I can do a little bit of blue. Apply, okay, boom. I have this little weird shade of maroon. But, right, so we have different things you could do with it. So as you can see, crosshair works like normal. With a normal crosshair in game, and there you have it. So there's the tutorial. Thanks you for watching. Hope you guys had a wonderful day. And if this helped you, leave a like and comment if you need more help with anything. I'll be glad to help whatever I can with, and I'll see you all later. You'll have a wonderful day. Take care.
Thank you, Paru. You have saved my life.
I'm gaming. I'm not gaming. I was gaming.
You're gaming. Your game console has been turned off. Please press the power button to turn it back on.
Oh wait, my game console got to. Okay. I'm setting this next console right now.
I'm going to turn you back on. I'm going to turn you back on.
You're gonna turn me on. Hold up. You're gonna turn me on.
I'm going to. No, that was not a medic.